Today we are going to take lecture on elements of computers. Myself, Dr. Ramavat Ravi, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Pingili Government College for Women, Telangana, Warangal. So, in the previous video, we discussed about the computers introduction and the features of the computer. Today we are going to focus on the elements of computers or the major components of digital computers is shown in the following black diagram, or you can call black diagram of the computer, or structure of the computer, or components of the computer. So software and hardware. Hardware is a physical devices or physical components such as keyboard, mouse, monitor, CPU, etc. And similarly, software is a set of instruction, a set of instruction provided by the computer programmer. The programmer has designed a software. So when we are linking software with hardware, then the computer will properly work. Today we are going to discuss regarding the black diagram or components. This is a picture we are displaying on the screen. So like a central processing unit, the CPU, and the central processing unit, we can broadly we are discussing the inside of the central processing unit. Memory is a one of the aspects, and control unit is a another one aspect, and arithmetical logical unit is a another one aspects, and input and output, those are the devices. Input mean so user of the computer entering the information into the computers. So whatever the information entered by the programmer, so the central processing unit is processing it and storing the informations and calculating the informations and showing the results in form of output. This is a basic structure of the computers. Now we are going to discuss one by one the central processing unit, or we can shortcutly abbreviation we can call CPU. It is a one of the major device in the computer. The process of data inside the computer is done by the CPU, central processing unit. It is the inside of the computers. It performs all arithmetical operations, takes the logical decisions, and control the activities of all the other units. Mean it is the perform arithmetical operation which we are given the task by the programmer, and each and every activities of the all the other units. CPU is a central process unit. Basically, we can call heart of the computers. Similarly, we can take example, a human body. Heart is a major part of the in any human body. Heart major function is the to circulating the blood through the blood, circulating through the heart, throughout the body, and again the blood will receiving from the body and purify it, and again it supply. It is a continuous process. Same thing here. The computer also, CPU also doing same function in the computers, electronic devices. Mean giving signal to the users, receiving signal to the receivers, and process it, and same thing submitting to the end users, and it is process it. This is a continuous process functioning by the central processing units. So mean the central processing unit is the heart of the computer. The primary function of the central processing unit CPU is to execute the programs. So executing the program is a major functions of the CPU. Beside this, it also controls the operation of input and output devices. It is a major functions of CPU. It is given direction to the inputs devices and same thing output devices, and as well as controlling the memory. So this is the basic structure of the CPU, basic functions of the CPU. And the CPU can contains three subunits. They are memory units, arithmetical logical unit, and control unit. Already we discussed it in this diagram. The picture is clearly indicating these are the three subcomponents. The central processing unit is a brief review of that. And the next one is the control units. What is the control unit and what are the main duties of the functions of the control unit? Let me discuss one by one. First, CU, you can call shortcut form CU, Central Control Unit, is the most important part of the CPU. CPU is a broad concept. One of the part is the control unit. It controls and coordinates the activities of all other units such as ALU, arithmetical logical unit, and memory units, and input output devices. It is a control based on the coordinations. So coordination mean, for example, we are asking some X person result. When we are entering X person result, all ticket number, then computer will give X person result only. Mean is there is a proper coordination is there. If we are entering X person hall ticket number, but the result will displaying Y person, it is not a good manner. It is not a proper coordination is there. So whatever the instruction we are given by the computer and whatever the input we are entering into the computer, so such linking, such controlling the activities and coordinating all the activities, all the remaining devices, and it is properly executing the measure thing will be happen in the signal. According to the signal, it is the controlling of signals. It is a process they input exactly as per the instruction given, which stored in the memory unit. Instruction given by the user of the computers, and as well as which can store the information in memory a systematical manner. So this is a controlling. For example, a programmer has entering the data, so that data will directly go for central unit, control arithmetical central unit. So for example, programmer has given instruction 4 into 2 mean 8. So who will that activities will assign to the control unit directly to controlling signal. It is a passing to arithmetical logical unit. Mean that is the logically the calculation function is there. So arithmetical logical unit will calculate the mathematical equation and again send back. Then who will this signal will based on the control unit will take care it, and then so finally output the result will showing 2 4 into 2 is 8 is a displaying on the screen. The such inside of the activities coordinating in proper way and proper mechanism, that call we are control unit. Next one is the arithmetical logical unit. Arithmetical logical unit, it is a perform Arithmetical operations such as adding, subtraction, multiplication, and divisions, etc. Mean arithmetical mean it is a completely working with the with support of the mathematics and statistics. These are the basically it is a working with the numerical numbers, and it can also perform a certain logical operation also, not only simple mathematical operation. It is performing logical operations, adding and not exclusive. It is a etc logical thinking also, logical calculation also is there. And finally, third one thing is the memory unit. It is a very important components in the CPU. Memory unit, the important components of the CPU is the store or memory unit. The storage or memory unit mean memory mean certain information, certain data stored in the devices. So different devices is there, either movable devices, unmovable devices. As the name suggests that it stores all the data and instruction in a proper way. As the name, we are entering the data in the field of computers. It also, the memory can broadly, we are discussing the primary memory, read only memory, and random access memory. And secondary memory is a permanent memory. It is also primary main memory is a evidently accessing memory. So these are the three major components in the CPU. And next thing is the we are going to discuss input devices. These are the input devices, and several input devices is there. Let me know first of all what is the input devices. So programmer has main duty is the to enter the information into the computers through input devices. So basically, uh, entering the information is there. One is the numerical number and alphabetical number and special functions and combination of all. First one is the alphabetical number A to Z. We are using A to Z. So this is a major thing we are going to discuss in the devices. Information we are entering into the computer, that is the alphabetical number and numerical number and special functions. So you can take one example. Today, BCom final year result declared by the universities. Then Razu had Razu got 70% marks in BCom final year. This is a fact. This is the data. So when the programmer has entering the data, Razu is a alphabetical number and 70 is the numerical number. Percentage is a special function. We are using combination of data. So basically the input devices converting into the informations into the suitable binaries is there. So bits, zeros and ones is a bit. Zero is the one and one is the another. So it is a negative and positive values is there. So that's ones or zeros we are calling binary, or you can call bit. So 8 bit equal to 1 byte. Like this is the measurement factor: byte, gigabyte, megabyte, terabyte. These are the storage capacities and memory thinking and bits we are going to discuss. So basically, computer input devices is there. Its devices can using the programmer to entering the data into the computers. So number one, first one is the keyboard. Keyboard is the one of the input devices. So you see, this is a keyboard. This is a really visible in the keyboard. So the flat different model of keyboard is available in the market. So these are the example we are going to discuss. This is a example. You see, this is the example of the keyboard. And now we are going to discuss what is the keyboard. One of the primary input devices used with computer. The keyboard looks very similar to keyboard of electronic typewriters with some additional keys. Keyboards allow the computer user to input letters, numbers, and other symbol into the computer. Already we discussed the alphabetical number and numerical number and special function like that. So it is the types of keyboards is also available. Different types, different model, different varieties of computers keyboard is available in the market, and virtual keyboard also is available. But anyhow, the different keyboard, these are the major components is available: alphabetical number and numerical number and special functions. Either virtual, whatever the model is there, whatever the type is there. So we don't bother about the type and model. And wireless keyboard also is there. In the keyboard, basically 104 keys is there. Out of 104 keys, A to Z is a 26, and 0 to 9 is a 10, and F1 to F12 is a 12, and remaining things called special functions. Remaining things all together special functions mean enter, alt, control, home, end page, arrow mark, right arrow, left arrow. This all together we call 104 keys is there in the computer key. So here different types of keyboard is there: standard keyboard and laptop keyboard, gaming and multimedia keyboard, thumb-sized keyboard, virtual keyboard, foldable keyboard. So you know very well about the standard keyboard and laptop keyboard and gaming and multimedia. So virtual keyboard mean, so it's basically physically keyboard is not available. So for example, when we are applying through online test is there, online submission of application is there. So basically we need the keyboard, but at the time we doesn't have any keyboard mechanism is not there. Just we can use virtual, and we can enter the whatever the data we required. You can enter by using virtual keyboard, and we can input the data by using a virtual keyboard. This is a different types of keyboard and keyboard introduction. So this is a brief about the keyboard and keyboard introduction. And second one is the scanner. So you see, this is the picture of the scanner. So like this is the example of the scanner picture. This we are indicating like that. This is the scanner indication. So you see, this is a, so when the arrow mark is displaying, the arrow mark displaying thing is a, you are calling what's called keyboard scanner. So now coming to the, this is a scanner picture. So you see, this is a, when cursor will moving, so this thing we will call scanner. So what is the scanner and how it is the working? So now let me discuss one by one. A scanner is a device that capture images, documents, objects, and convert them into digital format, and with a view of using the digital resources. Photos, original works, drawings and text can be scanned. For example, suddenly, so a X person has going to attend interview in Mumbai. So a native place is a Nalgonda. Suddenly, if one of the document has missed, so what at the time what services he can access and how can he attend the interview? So without submitting this document, it is highly impossible to attend the interview. So then the option is there. So whatever the document he has missed, so he has missed the document. The same document we can copy somebody, scan it, and send through mail, and you can use different shareable network devices is there, and immediately he can download that one. And even though he's not downloading, he can showing images by the scanned copies, and he can attend the interviews. So these are the using of the, so the main advantages of scanner. So anyhow, it is also one of the input devices. So informations or textual, text mean basically file. File maybe we can call collection of text, data, or programming. It's called file. So three types of file is available. A text file is there, and database file is there, and programming file is there. So these are the main. Every file should name is mandatory. The primary name and secondary name. So here, let me discuss one by one types of scanner. There are different types of scanner is there. Just we see only one example. This is the one of the example of the scanner. So you see the different example, different models is there. Flat bedded scanner. It is a made of a glass pan and moving optical CIS and CCD arrow. The pan is illuminated with the help of bright light planted underneath it. This is the flat bedded scanner. And shift bit scanner, as its name suggests, in this type of scanner the document is fed into the horizontal, or you can use vertical column and slot provided in it. Handset scanner, a handheld handheld scanner is a small manual scanning device which is moved over the subject that needs to be scanned. Drum scanner. A drum scanner is the one which uses a photo multiplayer tube to scan images instead of the charge coupled device that is typically used in the flatted scanner. And a film scanner. A film scanner is utilized to scan photographic films directly into your computers. A foldable scanner, being a small in size, foldable mean carrying from one place to another place. Is carrying is very easy. Can easily carried from around the uh, around anywhere from one location to the another location. Some of these are the small as you can PDA can be carried into the packet also. But now in the modern days, the coming to the modern era, mobile based scanner also is available. By using mobile based cam scanner is there. That is the one of the example. Different scanner model is there available. So anyhow, that is the basic motive of the scanner. And next thing is point devices. A point device is a hardware input device that allows the user to move the mouse. This is a point device, that mean indicator. This is a mouse. This is the mouse is clearly indicating. You see, this is a mouse. So it's the indicators. We are not entering. So by using the mouse, we are rounding the screen, moving screen throughout the screen, either whatever the direction. So the point indicates a device, a hardware input device that allow to use move the mouse pointer to select items on display on the screen, display the screen. The types of pointing devices is there based on rolling a ball, based on touching a surface, based on moving stick. These are the different types of the uh, pointing devices. Next, voice recognition system. Mean it is a voice recording and voice recognition system is there. Voice recording is a powered system or primarily designed to recognize the voice of the persons speaking before being able to recognize the voice of speaker. Voice recognition techniques require some training in which the underlying system will learn the voice, accent, and tone of the speaker. This is generally accomplished through a series of textual words and statements that the person has to speak through the built in a external microphone. So the voice, you see, these are the input devices. Keyboard is the one of the input devices, and different types of keyboards is there. Standard keyboard, laptop keyboard, gaming and multimedia, thumb-sized, virtual, foldable. And next one is the scanner, and different types of scanner is there. And pointing devices and different types of pointing devices is there. That is called mouse, voice recognition system, and these are the basically input devices. And another one is the touch screen. Touch screen also in the coming in the modern era. So almost all mobile phones, every mobile phone is a touch based mobile phone. In our ATM center, ATM electronic machine also, ATM machines also, it is accessing the input by the users through touch. So, for example, he required to withdraw the money from the bank. Then he has to enter the ATM machine cabin. Then he has insert the card, and when he inserting the card, so he or she may be choosing the languages, either English or Telugu. So by touching the screen, you can touch the screen and you can choose the language. Then after choosing it, whatever the transaction, either saving account, pin code, by touch the screen and he has using the entering the data. Same thing is available in mobile phone and ATMs, whatnot, everywhere. Is touching is the very important. By touching the screen and whatnot, everything we have to enter it. Everything we are using it. So this is the virtual based. In the previous, the keyboard is there, but now keyboard is not necessary. By touching the screen and we are entering the data. A touching screen is the computer display screen. That is also a input devices. It is also one of the input devices. The screens are sensitive to pressures. A user interact with the computer by touching pictures or words on the screen. So pictures and words of the icons, we can call icon. For example, so when we are touching, saving button is there. By saving, clicking on save, so it's saving. It will be visible in screen and in form of text or in form of images and in form of graph, whatever may be that. There are three types of touching screens technologies available. So resistive, surface wave, and capacitive. These are the different touching screens waves is available. So you see, this is the picture we are displaying. Different input devices is there. So you see, that's the touch screen, and touch screen is example. This is by he is Indicator is a touching the screen and entering the informations. And camera also one of the input devices. By taking the pictures, and same thing will be connecting devices, and we can insert the computers, and whatever may be that you can edit and you can take printing, whatever may be that. So mean we are entering the data, so capturing the images, and we have to using them. So scanner is there, and is the microphone. So microphone also is the one of the input devices, voice recognition. So by speaking through a microphone, and we are entering our voice, entering our, for example, the song recording, voice recording, video recording, by using the microphone, and the audience, then maker of the voice, song maker, so he's the recording is the one of the tool, and mouse is like that, and keyboard is there. A webcam also one of the input devices, and by using the webcam we are entering the data by recording the everything in a systematical manner. So this is the one of the major devices. And trackball also, these are the basically input devices we discussed in briefly. You see one by one, this is a clear example. Along with example, and next, output devices. Output devices mean output devices. The computer usually send the information in the form of binary code, represent then output devices converting into the user understandable form and provide the output to the users. Basically, when we are entering the computer's information, that will accessing the data in binary codes. Binary codes mean only computer can understand language, such as human being can talk, can speak, and can understand different languages is there. Telugu, Hindi, English, Tamil, Marathi, such different languages can human being can speak. But a computer doesn't understand these human being languages. Computer understandable language is called machine language. Only machine language can computer understand. So that machine language called the binary language codes, like zeros are ones. The zeros are ones are representative of our languages. So mean it is understandable language is only that. Then, so the same thing will understand. For example, when we are entering A, directly computer will not understand A. So that A will converting into the binaries, either zeros or ones. Example, A is a in our point of view, A is a alphabetical number. But in computer point of view, computer directly A will not understand. A mean example 0, 0, 1 is A. So when we are entering A, so the by default will converting 0, 0, 1 is the example. Then that language will process by computer, and same thing will output. So human being cannot understand. So machine language human being cannot understand, and human being language machine cannot understand. So this is the converting system is very required. Converting system is required. First, our language will converting into the machine understandable language. Machine language will converting into the human understandable language. This process we are calling as a circle. We are calling output devices. So different output devices is there. Monitor is the one of the output devices. The two basic types of monitors are you are using in PC. The first is the typical monitor that you can see on desktop computer, which look like a television screen, like olden days television model screen is there. The second type is we know a flat screen, a flat model screen. In the modern era, everywhere we can use a flat screen only. And the why we are using flat screen compared to olden model monitor, I mean, it is carrying is very easy, and portability and moving from one location to another location is very easy to carry it. And panel display is used primary with the portable nature. So this is the monitoring. So whatever the result will display through monitoring. That is the one of the output devices. And next one is speaker. The computer can also produce voice on the output. Speaker serves as a voice output device. Using speakers along with speech synthesize software enable, and the computers can to provide voice output. Voice output has become a very common in many places like airlines, railways, banks, automatic telephone inquiry. These are the different we are using voice voice recognitions. So output is a voice. Directly, voice output has become a very common in these places. For example, airlines. So simply when the one single person will speaking, so nobody will understand. The voice will connecting with airline speakers, then everybody will understand. So when railway announcement is there, they are using speaker. First, the input will recording through microphone, recording the voice, and whatever the recorded voice in the input devices, the microphone, same thing will display on the speaker. So then in the railway inquiry and railway announcement and airline announcement, bank announcement, any announcement through the speaker. That is one of the major thing you are the mostly using the input devices such as the speaker. And next one is a printer also, another one of the output device, sorry, output devices. Printer is the external hardware device responsible for taking computer data and generating a hard copy of the data. Printer are one of the most used peripherals on computers and are commonly used to print text, image, and photos. So next one thing is the types of printers. Printer can categorized into impact printers, non-impact printers. So let me know what is the impact printers. It is used with the typewriting printing mechanism wherein as the hammer strikes the paper through a ribbon in order to produce output. Dot matrix printer and non so dot matrix printer is shown some of how like typewriting they create a characters by the striking pin against an ink ribbon. Each pin makes a dot and combination of dot from the characters and illustration. Non-compact printer, it is doing not touch the paper while printing. They use the chemical heat electronic signals and to etch the symbols on paper. Laser printers, as a laser printer radical produce high quality text and graphs. Laser printer are often used in corporate, schools and other environments that require print jobs to complete quickly and large quantities. Inkjet printer operates by the properly variable sized droplets and liquid or melted. These are the Plotters printer interprets the computer's commands and makes line drawing on paper using multicolored automated pens. It capable of the producing and like that. Okay, and next one is the this is the picture we are seeing output devices, the webcam, speaker, monitor, printer, headphone, and this is the example of the printer and webcam. These are things will happen in that one. And finally, thanking you each and everybody.